Most people believe something simple. You cannot be liked by everyone. Someone will always dislike you. Someone will always misunderstand you. Someone will always disagree with you. And for most personality types, this is completely true. But then there are INFJs. One of the rarest personality types in the world. Quiet, reflective, deeply observant. INFJs are not chasing popularity. They are not trying to win approval. And yet, something interesting often happens. People tend to like them. Across different groups, different personalities, different environments. Coworkers trust them. Friends open up to them. Even strangers sometimes feel comfortable around them. And the strange part is this. INFJs usually don't mind. Not because they want validation. Not because they need attention. But because harmony matters to them. Understanding matters to them. Human connection matters to them. Today we are exploring the quiet psychology of the INFJ personality type. Why INFJs often end up being liked by many people. Why they rarely create enemies. And why their relationship with social approval is very different from what most people imagine. But to understand this, we must first understand how the INFJ mind works. Let's begin. 1. The rare INFJ personality type. In personality psychology, the INFJ personality type is often described as one of the rarest personalities. INFJ stands for introverted, intuitive, feeling, judging. This personality type comes from the Myers-Briggs personality framework. And even though personality systems are debated in psychology, the behavioral patterns of INFJs are surprisingly consistent across cultures. INFJs tend to be deep thinkers, emotionally perceptive, quietly observant, strongly intuitive, highly empathetic. They spend much of their time reflecting, watching human behavior, understanding emotional patterns. Many INFJs say they feel like observers of the world, almost like they are watching life from the outside. But this observation gives them something powerful. Insight. They start noticing things others miss. Small emotional changes, hidden motivations, subtle social dynamics. And this awareness shapes how INFJs interact with people. They are careful with their words. They are thoughtful with their reactions. They rarely act impulsively in social situations. Instead, they read the emotional atmosphere around them. And they adjust naturally, not to manipulate people, but to maintain harmony. This emotional awareness is one of the reasons INFJs are often liked by many different types of people. Because they understand what people need emotionally, even when those people do not say it directly. 2. INFJs do not chase popularity. One of the biggest misconceptions about being widely liked is the belief that someone must be trying to achieve it. But INFJs rarely chase popularity. They are not natural attention seekers. They do not enjoy constant social performance. They do not want to be the center of every room. In fact, many INFJs feel uncomfortable with too much attention. They prefer meaningful conversations over large social crowds. They prefer depth over noise. They prefer connection over popularity. This creates an interesting paradox. Because when someone is not trying to impress people, they often appear more genuine, more authentic, more trustworthy. People can sense when someone is performing, and they can also sense when someone is real. INFJs tend to fall into the second category. Their kindness is not exaggerated. Their curiosity is not fake. Their listening is not strategic. They simply care about understanding people. And when someone feels understood, they usually respond with trust. And trust naturally grows into liking. 3. The INFJ listening ability. One of the strongest INFJ traits is listening. True listening. Not the kind where someone waits for their turn to speak, but the kind where someone is fully present. Most conversations today move quickly. People interrupt each other. They jump between topics. They compete for attention. But INFJs approach conversations differently. They slow down. They observe. They let the other person finish. They absorb the emotional meaning behind the words. And something powerful happens when someone experiences this kind of listening. They feel valued. They feel respected. They feel heard. And many people rarely experience that. Think about it. How often do people truly listen to each other? Without checking their phone. Without interrupting. without shifting the focus back to themselves. Not very often, but INFJs naturally create this environment, a calm conversational space, where people feel safe sharing their thoughts. This is one of the biggest reasons people feel drawn to INFJs. They associate INFJs with emotional comfort, and emotional comfort creates positive memories. Those memories slowly build social affection, which eventually becomes liking. 4. INFJs understand emotional signals. Another reason INFJs don't mind being liked by many people is because they understand emotional signals very well. Many people see behavior. INFJs see emotion behind behavior. For example, someone might appear angry, but an INFJ might sense disappointment underneath. Someone might appear confident, but an INFJ might sense insecurity hidden inside. This emotional awareness is connected to something called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence includes recognizing emotions, understanding emotional causes, responding to emotions effectively. INFJs tend to have high emotional intelligence, but they rarely advertise it. They simply use it quietly. They notice when someone feels uncomfortable. They notice when someone feels ignored. They notice when someone feels anxious. And they adjust their behavior in subtle ways. Maybe they change the subject. Maybe they ask a thoughtful question. Maybe they offer reassurance. These small actions often go unnoticed consciously, but emotionally, people feel the difference. They feel understood. And being understood is one of the strongest human desires. This is why many people feel relaxed around INFJs, even if they cannot explain why. 5. INFJs avoid unnecessary conflict. Another quiet INFJ behavior is their relationship with conflict. INFJs are not afraid of standing up for their values, but they dislike unnecessary arguments. They understand that many conflicts are driven by ego, miscommunication, or emotional reactions. Instead of reacting immediately, INFJs often pause. They analyze the situation. They ask themselves questions. Is this conflict meaningful? Is it productive? Will it help anyone? If the answer is no, they may simply disengage. Not because they are weak, but because they are strategic with their emotional energy. This behavior prevents many social conflicts from escalating. And when someone rarely creates drama, people often feel comfortable around them. INFJs bring stability to conversations, stability to relationships, stability to group dynamics. This stability builds trust, and trust builds likability. 6. INFJs seek harmony. Harmony is extremely important for the INFJ personality. Not artificial harmony, not fake politeness, but emotional balance. INFJs dislike environments filled with hostility. They dislike constant tension between people. They dislike aggressive competition. Instead, they look for emotional alignment, understanding, mutual respect. Because of this, INFJs often act as quiet mediators. If two people misunderstand each other, INFJs may gently help clarify intentions. If someone feels excluded, INFJs might bring them back into the conversation. If tension appears in a group, INFJs often sense it immediately, and sometimes they shift the mood without anyone noticing. This ability to maintain social harmony makes INFJs valuable in group settings. Friends appreciate them. Teams trust them. Communities feel calmer with them around. And again, this leads to something simple: people liking them. 7. INFJs see potential in people. Another fascinating INFJ trait is their ability to see potential. INFJs rarely judge people only by their current behavior. Instead, they imagine what that person could become. They notice strengths others overlook, hidden talents, unspoken dreams, emotional depth. And when INFJs believe in someone, they often express that belief sincerely. They might encourage someone's idea. They might support someone's goal. They might remind someone of their strengths. These small affirmations can be powerful, because many people move through life feeling invisible, or underestimated, or misunderstood. But when someone sees their potential, it creates hope, and people remember who gave them that hope. Often, that person is an INFJ. 8. INFJs are selective with close relationships. Now here is something important to understand. Even though many people may like INFJs do not feel close to everyone. Their inner circle is small. Very small. Sometimes only 2 or 3 people. This surprises many people. Because INFJs appear socially warm. But emotional closeness is different. INFJs crave deep connection, meaningful conversations, shared values, emotional honesty. They do not enjoy shallow relationships. And they do not invest emotional energy everywhere. Instead, they reserve their deepest trust for a few individuals. This creates a quiet balance. Many people may appreciate the INFJ, but only a few truly know them. And INFJs are comfortable with that. Because depth matters more than numbers. 9. INFJs are naturally respectful. Respect is another reason INFJs tend to be widely liked. INFJs usually approach people with curiosity rather than judgment. They want to understand different perspectives, different life experiences, different personalities. Even when they disagree with someone, they often remain respectful. They ask questions. They listen carefully. They respond thoughtfully. This respectful approach makes conversations feel safe. And when conversations feel safe, people open up. Over time, those positive interactions create reputation. A reputation for kindness. A reputation for thoughtfulness. A reputation for emotional maturity. And reputation shapes how people feel about someone. This is why INFJs often become quietly respected within their communities. 10. The INFJ calm presence. There is also something about the INFJ presence. Something calm. Something grounded. Many INFJs have a naturally reflective energy. They speak slowly. They think carefully. They do not rush to fill silence. And in a noisy world, this calmness stands out. It feels peaceful. People who feel overwhelmed by constant social noise often appreciate this. They feel they can relax around INFJs. They do not need to perform. They do not need to compete. They can simply exist. And that emotional relief is powerful. It makes people want to spend time with the INFJ again. 11. INFJs are observers of human nature. INFJs spend a lot of time observing human behavior. Not in a judgmental way, but in a curious way. They ask themselves questions. Why did that person react that way? What emotions are they hiding? What experiences shaped them? Over time, this reflection creates deep psychological insight. INFJs become skilled at reading situations. They sense tension early. They sense excitement early. They sense discomfort early. This awareness allows them to navigate social situations smoothly. And smooth social navigation reduces misunderstandings, which again contributes to social harmony. And social harmony increases likability. Now we return to the central question. Why don't INFJs mind being liked by everyone? The answer is simple. Because being liked usually means harmony exists. It means people feel understood. It means relationships are stable. And those are things INFJs value deeply. They do not seek universal approval. But if kindness and understanding lead to positive relationships, they see that as a good thing. Not a burden. Not a performance. Just a natural result of empathy.